Hi, this is Kurt. Welcome to Day of Devotion's Disciple Time. It's going to be a new thing for us, and I want you to know this is going to be a 3-minute video, so I hope you can stay. We're going to start and do this Monday, Wednesday, Friday kind of thing. It's going to be a little bit longer, and I'll post it at the places that make sense, right? I want to start this new set of videos with this question: who is Jesus? This is going to be about our disciple time, so I hope you can stay for us. We hear Jesus' name a lot. We hear him in churches and we hear him in curses. But who is he? Jesus always existed. We find this in John 1:1. It says, "In the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word was God." He always existed. In the same book, John explains that the Word is Jesus. The Word became flesh and dwelt among us. Jesus entered the human world through a young unmarried virgin girl named Mary. You probably heard about her. He had human parents in Mary and his stepfather, I guess, Joseph, because his actual father was God. And they were born Jesus was born in a town called Bethlehem. It was where David, the king that both Mary and Joseph were descended from, were from. They later moved back to Nazareth. At about 30, he started to gather disciples around him and started preaching about God's message of redemption, which he called the kingdom of God. He continued to preach this message for about 3 years. During this time, he healed people, raised people from the dead, and trained his disciples. He never sinned. He never violated God's laws, but because he was following God's law and not man's religious law, he often came into conflict with the local religious leaders. That makes sense. God used this conflict as Jesus willingly went to the cross at the end of 3 years of his ministry on earth and subjected himself to the pain, suffering, and shame of crucifixion. He was killed. He was buried, but 3 days later, he was raised to life. He appeared to his disciples and many others for 40 days and then ascended into heaven while many watched. We're going to spend these sessions learning more about Jesus, the fact that the Old Testament points to him hundreds of times, what Jesus said to himself, what others have said about him, and why Jesus is so important, and most importantly, how to know Jesus personally. He said this to his young disciple, John: "Look, I stand at the door and knock. Anybody who comes and hears my voice and opens the door, I'll come in." I hope you know him, or will get to know him. If you don't know him, listen to these sessions. I'd love to talk to you about it. God bless you. We'll talk to you tomorrow on Day of Devotion.